G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daystro the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the Missing Link G1 Arcee. She took me a bit to get, so I had to hold out after Christmas because bills and Christmas and etc. So I've only just recently in the last month ordered her. Going looking for her, I couldn't find her anywhere in Australia. So I've actually had to order her from the States, and that took a month for her to get here. And long story short, I finally got her. Now, why I call her G1 instead of prototype is simply because she has her G1 colors. She has the 86 movie and the toy line colors, the pink and grays and whites that we know RC4. Whereas the prototype was oranges, grays, and pinks. So if I really wanted to have a toy accurate collection, I probably should have gone for the prototype. But I would just really wanted this toy in animation accurate colors. And she is amazing. Really is amazing. Holy jeez. She's really, really good. And I don't know why I'm having trouble focusing. Yes, she's got kibble, but she is making me really, 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 really wonder how much of her is missing link and how much of her is prototype. Because honestly, what transforms, if that was original G1 toy and not like the bicep rotations and whatnot, she would have been the most articulate transformer of 86. And what I mean by that is, if you look at any of the toys that got made from at least season 2 to the movie and season 3 at least, maybe season 4, they are very simple transformations for the most part. They're simple transformations. If she's using technology that was originally intended in her transformation, she would have been the most in-depth articulate transformation for 86. Maybe excluding, say, Scorponok or Fortress Maximus or something like that. Excuse me. So it really, 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 really does make me wonder what Missing Link added and what was originally in her herself. So she is a little sparse on stickers. I've only applied this one, and I will show you why. We'll go through this bit of accessories. So she comes in this box, and initially I was like, really? We can get Missing Link in fancy G1 style boxes? Arcee doesn't get one. She gets a masterpiece black box. I was wrong. If you open this up, and yes, I teared mine, and if you take this out, instead of reaching your finger in here and then pull this out, yes, she gets a legit G1 style, or Japanese at least, style G1 box. And it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Admittedly, it's all in Japanese, but it's really amazing. It's just so nice that she actually has this, considering we did not have a G1 RC. Now, I'm going to ramble a little bit for you, especially for those who don't understand why we didn't get RC for the most part. And I had a discussion with this with a he was in his early 20s, and someone I know who also collects figures, and couldn't understand why this wasn't a thing. And long story short, back in the 80s, early 90s, not so much nowadays, you had boys' toys, you had girls' toys. Arcee is a girl in a boys' toy line. So if you exclude all the tomboys and all the female fans who were huge fans of the show and the cartoon, etc., Hasbro came to the conclusion that no boy would want a girl toy. And being as someone from that time, if it had been me saying to my parents, I want a new Transformer, and they said, well, how about Arcee? I would have been like, I don't want a girl. I don't want a girl. I want a hot rod. I want a cup. I want a blur. Ironically, I did get a hot rod, so there you go. It does make me wonder how many girls, women nowadays, because they were girls back then, but women now, who would have been a huge fan of buying this figure for themselves. Now, admittedly, a lot of girls back in those days, you had your Barbies, etc. Not getting into that. But it makes me wonder how much money Hasbro and Takara would have made if they'd actually released Arcee. Because it's always been said that the GoBots dealt with women better than the Transformers. Because you had a whole bunch of characters. You had Crusher, who was one of the big six in GoBots. But we had Arcee, we had the female Autobots, Elita, etc. And I never remember any of the other ones' names. And, of course, we didn't get a proper female character that everybody wanted until, at least toy, until we got Beast Wars, to my knowledge, worldwide, because I'm assuming maybe Japan got Minerva and all that, but take that for what it's worth. But, yeah, I wonder how much of a success Arcee would have been for those female fans. They were like, yes, I want an Optimus. Yes, I want a Hot Rod. Yes, I want a Starscream. Oh, we're not getting a Arcee because she's a girl, and girls are icky and cooties. Thankfully, nowadays, everyone's catered to. So, rambling done. That, for those of you who do not understand why this was not a thing, why they did not release it, girls play with girls' toys, boys play with boys' toys. Simple as that. Nowadays, boys, girls, everyone plays with the same stuff. There is obviously someone more dedicated, but nowadays, if you tell a girl she can't play with Transformers, she will slap the shit out of you. Alright, so we have some other accessories in here, which this was nice. I sort of fell out. But you do have, and I haven't gone through all this, I really should take that sticky tape off because it keeps grabbing onto everything. Then I just rip the rest of the plastic. So we do have some goodies. We have stickers. As you can see, I've only used the Autobot insignia. I haven't done any of these. Alright, going back to Who Wants to Play with a Girl, why did we get Missing Link Optimus, Missing Link B and Cliff, and Sunstreaker, who were fully stickered and or engraved with their components, but Arcee has to be applied? Now, I've always said I'm not great with stickers, and I don't really think she needs all this, but why wasn't this engraved into her, or at least applied on her already? So it's making me wonder what will be applied on Ultra Magnus and Grimlock. Because if they are fully applied and they don't have sticker sheet, I'm calling bullshit, and that Arcee should have got it as well. Alright, so we have stickers. We have a lovely card of Arcee with Japanese details again. We, of course, have our infrared reader, which doesn't help us a lot, because I don't know if you can just probably just barely make it out. And of course, we can't, unless you're Japanese, I can't read that anyway. What do we have here? I haven't gone through this. This is all folded up. I still haven't gone through this. So this is our transformation, which I actually did go through because I didn't want to do it and break it and all the rest of that goodie. And last but not least, I'm hoping this is what I think it is, because like I said, I haven't opened this. We have, we do too. It's reminiscent. Also, I completely forgot about, I can't think what the White Sunstreaker's name was. So, of course, we have C1, C2. So, I've got C1, I've got C3, I've got C5, I've got C4. So, and for those, what I was talking about who aren't aware, so that is technically prototype Arcee, and I'd say it's actually using her proper original prototype. So really, she's very, very close. So some of this I'm looking at, and I can see where the legs are going to be a little different, and I'll show you how that transformation works. So I think that's the only real thing that slightly got changed, at least that's from my perspective. And of course, we have both of them, so C7, C8, of course, G1 cartoon RC and prototype RC, which is kind of cool. Very, very cool. But I still say it would have been nice if she'd been released, but I personally can understand why that did not happen. Alright, so let's bring her back in. And of course, physical accessories. She does come with her gun. It reminds me more of the rifle, than the it probably doesn't help she's still in the shot, than the gun. Oh god, really? There we go. I think it reminds me a bit more of like the actual rifles that came with it, not the G1 gun, but I'm just trying to remember. Because I've got the War for Cybertron here, but that one gun's a bit more like the movie. So I'd have to look more into this, but I think I've seen more of this shape as a rifle than an actual pistol. So take that what you will. Alright, let's get down to articulation. We'll straighten her out a little bit. Because of the way she is designed, some things are going to be a bit wonky. And she's new, so she's going to be tight. So head can do a full 360 with a flat back of the head. She can look up. She can look down. Can't do side to side. Shoulders can do a full 360, but be careful that this does not rub against there because you can just feel it. So that's going to start pushing against it to get full 360. Arms go out this far. It's this joint, not in here. So you go down, which is more for transformation, out. You have 360, let's call it bicep rotation because it's actually above the elbow. Elbow bang gets you that far. Fingers, wrists do not work at all. Not shocked. No waist swivel, because if it did, I'd be raising so many questions, which is another thing, now that I'm thinking of it. I'm trying to think if Sunstreaker had a waist rotation. Oh, I can't remember now, and I've got him in vehicle mode, so I can't be bothered checking. But I'll check my video. I can't remember, but so far, yeah, no waist rotation. But honestly, the way she transforms, I'm not surprised. Legs can do a full 360, but you're going to start running into absolutely everything. Leg goes out that far. You have hip rotation, which is nice. You have knee bend that gets you that far. You have heel that goes back, goes forward very tightly and very carefully in that far. I'm sure there's another joint there, but that scares me. I'm worried I'm going to break the heel. So I'm being very careful of that. Break the ankle. And of course, you do have a heel, which is helpful. And I think I went down and up. All right, so let's get to transformation. Like I said, I'm curious how much of this actually was kept. Because this step might have been changed because, whoops, all right. If I go back to the picture and we have a look at her, God, I keep bumping the camera. If you have a look, they do kind of come together, but I'm wondering if this actually worked how the actual original toy did. I'm really curious. I would actually love to see the actual original prototype transformed. I'm pretty sure that's a actual physical figure. Yeah, it's a physical figure. So maybe someone could one day find it and try it, but obviously it's not gonna be me. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to untab her waist. You're going to bring this out a little bit and bring it over, and it's going to just sit nice and flat. And then you can bring this down, and that's going to cover her face. Then we are going to come to the legs, and we might actually untab this first. So untab here, so that tabs into here. This is clever. Bring it down, swing it back, and swing it back around like so. So it goes like this instead. Then what we're going to do is we're going to push gently up until we get a click. So her knees lock. And same on the other side, lock. Then we're going to drop those heels inside her foot. And I'm just trying to remember which way this goes. We're going to go, I think it's inward, outward. I think it might be out. Is it outward? I'm trying to remember now. Ironically, it's not even telling me. So I'm not even sure if I need to alter the angle of her feet. Let's try that. So I did originally, it did come out of the box with an angled leg, but just let's see if this works. So this comes back. So you have this tab that now goes up top here. So that tabs all that in. Rotate the leg up and in. Up. And make sure that's angled the right way and in. So you probably could angle it in a little bit if you want. I don't think that's going to really make any difference now. It comes like that, but I don't really think it's necessary. I'm legit just looking at it thinking, well, maybe here, but I don't think so. All right. So then we have that. And what we're going to do is make sure her shoulders are angled, because you're going to take the hand. The hand is going to go into the side of the leg. And then this tab is going to go into the top of the forearm. So bring that in. And I am a little concerned about the paint on the fists. How that's going to go over too many transformations. Oops, that wasn't lined up properly. There you go, like so. Then you're going to, now this is quite tight on mine. Like I said, it's brand new. I would take time with this. Take your time, at least probably for the first dozen. So we're going to bring this back gently because we need to rock this back. Flip it around. And just be careful where you're putting your fingers, because these tabs are going to go into these ports. Just gently down, tab them in, like so. And you're almost done. Very carefully lift up the windscreen. And there is Arcee in her alt mode. She looks stunning. She looks amazing. Really, really does. Yes, like I said, I probably, if I was, well, I think I was about 5, give or take, 3 or 4 when A6 came around. So once again, being the boy I am, I probably would not have gotten Arcee. But as an adult collector, she's stunning. She's amazing. Absolutely love her. I really, really do. There's a lot of diecast in here. I haven't mentioned it. Being a G1 toy, she should have diecast. But in saying that, the actual A6 lineup, except for maybe Ultra Magnus, I want to say, didn't have diecast in them. So there is that. I did say that I'm not sure who I'd actually love to see her compared with. And someone I said Blur. Missing Link Blur next to her would look absolutely amazing. And she slides absolutely effortlessly. Even with the way her heels are, she clears quite easily. The wheels are weird because they're thin. They're thin plastic. That's all they are. There's no rubber or anything, which is weird because obviously G1 toys at the time had rubber. So it is really, really weird, but it works really, really well. So there's that. Now you can take her weapon, and you have 2 ports back here. So you can choose either one and plug that in there, and she can now start shooting Decepticons or Junkions, whichever you prefer. I'll put that back aside. All right, now for size comparisons, of course, let's bring in the lady herself, Windblade. And as you can see, she's almost as long as Windblade, give or take. Nose cone short, but not too bad. Really not too bad. Now, the only one of the 86 lineup I have in any G1 form, of course, is my 40th anniversary, more than meets the eye, Hot Rod. And while they do look good together, I still think it would look even better with Blur. So I'm really curious how she's going to look with Ultra Magnus. But that looks really, really good. I do have my 40th anniversary and pretty much half currently my missing links in vehicle mode. So it looks really, really good. So there we go. Let's get down to putting her back into robot mode. So, as I said before, take your time. Give her a good dozen transformations before you decide to start treating her like you would have when you were a kid. So, just be aware of that. Now, first we're going to get this up. Now, initially, like I said, she comes in alt mode, vehicle mode. Oh, by the way, I'm thinking of it. Just gently drop the window. You need to get under here, not under here. So, it's just a matter of trying to get that popped. Lift up very carefully. Just take your time. Put fingers where they need to be without putting too much pressure. It does scare me a little bit, I will not lie. All right, then we're going to come under here or up here. I've yet to find a decent place to put my finger. Because it feels like these tab into her legs. They don't, but it's got a sort of little thing on top of her knuckles that seems like a tabbing point, but I can't figure out quite where it actually tabs in. So it's just a matter of getting things to untab how you want. Bring her arms out, and we bring her feet down all the way. Now, the instructions say pull. I prefer this method. Take your thumb on her knee, take your finger on the outside of her thigh, and just push. And that feels like it gives a lot more solid grip to slide that leg down than pulling on it, like so. And that's just going to go as far as it goes, and it won't go any further. All right, now that clever torso transformation. So you're going to untab here, so it comes untabbed again. You bring this up, so it goes in, and you bring it straight back, and now you have down here, you have the tab. Oh, there we go. Middle of her back. That tabs into there. Let's push it up a little bit more if you need to. And that is her back in place. Then we can flip this out, which of course uncovers her head. Then we want to untab that. And we don't want to go straight pull down. We just want to try to flip it over her head, then bring it down. Make sure we clear her head, flatten it out, and then you have this tab here that's going to go into this port here. And that is Arcee back in her robot mode. And of course, then you can articulate the arms, legs, and feet. Oh, almost forgot. You didn't hear. I'd probably actually use a tool more than use my finger. But just pop that heel out like so. Like so. And we have our foot back out. And there we go. Absolutely looking lovely. Really, really lovely. I cannot say no bad things about her. Really, I cannot say a bad thing about her. I don't care that right, let me put it this way. If we had gotten Arcee, just realized her leg can bend forward. I suppose you could do a half Gestalt then, couldn't you? If we had gotten Arcee, where would fembots be nowadays? Because we've had, forever for Optimus Prime to become Optimus Prime, MT10, MP44, all the rest of them. How much in development would we have had for the fembots if Arcee had actually been released? That really, really raises so many questions. All right, so size comparison. Here she is, of course, with MP10. Go up a little bit and try to get my focus back. Kinda. So yeah, she's about half as tall to Optimus, so up to his waist. Bring her back in. One of the few fembots I've got, once I've focused her again, come on, thank you, is of course the War for Cybertron Earthrise Arcee, which I did a review on many, many moons ago. And it really does make me wonder, because she has this giant backpack, and I've taken half of it off. I've literally put the half of her car away. But if you look at Missing Link, where's the backpack? Yes, it's in her shoulders. There's her shoulders there. Now, admittedly, yes, she doesn't have the skinny, round proportions of the cartoon-accurate Arcee. She obviously is a lot more square, which, considering she is Missing Link, and she is meant to be G1, it makes me wonder, if this had got released, how much effort would have been put in to improve how this probably could have looked. So, yeah, there is that. And, of course, we have to do a little Missing Link comparison. So here she is with cartoon-accurate Optimus Prime, toy-accurate Optimus Prime, which I honestly wish they'd actually made the one with the trailer actually cartoon. But it is what it is. But this is another thing I was pointing out, and I don't remember. Oh, did I? This is all sculpted, but I'm trying to remember. Did I? No, because that is it. I'm trying to remember what I actually applied. I don't think I applied any of these stickers. I'm pretty sure they were all there. Don't quote me on it, but I don't know. So there is that. Of course, he is a bit kneeling down, so take that for your worth. And of course, last but not least, with more than meets the eye, G1 reissue Hot Rod. And this is what I mean. Why am I having a hell of a time with the focus? Yes, because I really wanted to zoom in. Sorry about that. Come on. Right, so if you look at Hot Rod, right? Very blocky, very limited, excluding the Missing Link element, right? Excluding her Missing Link elements. Legs slide in, you rotate the arms, flip up the head, flip the backpack, done. If she'd kept the sliding in arms, lifting up head, which I'm sure she would have, and had kept the knees like as an actual slider, I don't know if that would have been the case. I think they would have actually been more here, and I think that's why she's currently weird standing, because I haven't got the legs. So imagining if that had actually been her pre-knee arrangement, so her knees did not extend, the rest of the transformation would have been incredible. It really, really would have. So I would actually probably will never happen, I would actually like to see someone at Hasbro who actually has access to the prototype to show the transformation. I really, really want to see it. I honestly do. So there we go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.